Hi, I'm Heather with Going Batty, and today I'm going to show you guys a really quick way to make chicken and dumplings. So I think I've done a video on this before, but I think I did it with Thrive Life products. So this is actually not with Thrive Life. It may have some in there because I may not want to chop up the carrots. But I'm going to show you like another quick way to make chicken and dumplings. This is one of my daughter's favorite meals, and she is out helping a relative today, so I wanted her to have it when she came home. All right, so we're gonna start with, I am all out of fresh carrots. So I'm gonna use some of these Thrive carrots. I'm gonna put a couple handfuls in here because I'm feeding 6 people. So these come in real handy. Like I said, we have to do our grocery shopping every 2 weeks, and by that second week, a lot of times I'm already out of things like carrots, celery, things like that. So this here comes in real handy for that. Now the next thing I'm going to use here is, I showed you this before. It's called a mirepoix blend. This has peppers, onions, and celery in it. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in that pot because when you do it shopping every 2 weeks, sometimes your vegetables don't last that long. So these are already frozen. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm actually going to put 2 of these in here because, like I said, because I'm feeding 6 people. And I also want to have leftovers so that they have them for lunch. And then we're also going to put, I still have herbs that are growing out in my front bed. My parsley, my sage, and my thyme all are still going, and we've actually had 2 freezes, maybe 3 already, and they're still growing. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that in there. One of the things I want to let you know that I did is I tied all of my herbs up so that way I can just pull it back out after I put it in here, so I don't have to go straining all of my my soup or my stock in order to get all these herbs out. All right, I'm gonna put some chopped garlic in here too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our whole chicken in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to also pour some water in. That I'm going to do is once the chicken is cooked, I'm gonna actually pull all the meat off the bones, and we're not gonna use all of this chicken for this meal because I can get about 4 meals out of 1 chicken. All right, so you can see here that our pot is filled with water. We're just gonna slap a lid on this, and I'm gonna turn it on to high and bring this up to a boil. Once it's brought up to a boil, I'm gonna lower the heat on it and just let it kind of simmer for the next 2 or 3 hours. So all of this here is a new game that my sons have created, and each time somebody wins a game, that roll of paper gets rolled up.
First try! Yes! First try! Yeah!
So,
what? How did you beat the griffin on the first try, man?
I'm not sure what's going on here, but something good just happened. But this has been the game that they've been playing for the last 2 days. All right, so I have here our chicken. It's been cooking, and you can see, like, when it starts doing this, like when the wings start falling off and the legs, it's pretty much done. So we're going to go ahead and pick the meat off the chicken. I'm going to move the skin over to the side. That'll go to the dog. Do not give chicken bones to your dog, though. Those can make them very sick. They can splinter in their digestive tract and make them, it's just not good for them. So we're going to go ahead and pick the meat off, and then I'll save half of this. I'll save about 1/3 of it. It'll go back into the pot, and then the rest of it I'll freeze for another meal. All right, so this is our pile of meat. That's our like gristle and chicken skin and fat, and then that's our bones there. So this I'm going to give to the dog. This I'm going to chop up, and that we're done with that now. We are going to go ahead and pull out the herb bundle that we had, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw this away. And what we have left is our vegetables and our nice broth that we had. So we're going to add some of our chicken back to this. You want to get like a mix of your light and dark meat in here. So we're going to Go ahead and add some chicken back to it. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make something called a slurry, which is just water and flour. And the reason I'm doing that is because there is a lot of broth in here, and I don't think it's gonna get thick enough for me just with the dumplings. So we're gonna just mix that up together, and then we're gonna put this into our chicken broth, and this is gonna help thicken it up a little bit. So what you wanna do is you wanna try to get all of the lumps out of it. You don't want any lumps in it because you don't want any lumps in your soup. All right, so for the most part, those lumps are broken up, and we're just gonna go ahead and dump this into our chicken stock with all of our vegetables and our chicken in it, and we're just gonna stir it up. And the soup should start thickening up after a while. You want it to be on like a simmer, but it should start thickening up, and then when it gets to just below the thickness that you want it, that's when you start adding your dumplings in. We are now going to start our dumplings, and what I have here is our homemade Bisquick mix, and I actually got this recipe from Living on a Dime. This is by far the best homemade Bisquick mix I've ever used. So what we're going to do is we're going to take about 2 cups of this Bisquick mix. There's 1. 2. And then we're going to take 2 cups of flour. And then we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of parsley flakes. So, and I just kind of eyeball it. So that's about 1. Oops. And then that's about 2. And then we're going to do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So right there. And we're going to give this just a mix around. And then we're going to add our water in here. And this is about 1 1/4 cups of water. We're just going to mix this up. Now you can make your dumplings from scratch if you want to, but like I said, I just find having that Bisquick, that baking mix on hand is just super duper handy because I don't have to, it's a lot less things I have to measure out. So we're going to just mix this up, and once I got it kind of incorporated, I'm going to use my hands to do the rest of it. So we're going to pull our sleeves up and then just kind of move it around and push it in. And just kind of get, and you might find that you may need just a little bit more water, which I'm finding here. I just need a smidge more water. So just a little bit more there. And you want it just to kind of form a ball, is what you want it to do. So that's what I've got right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my little recipe, and then I'm going to throw some flour out on the table. And we're going to knead this about 15 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there we go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get my rolling pin out, and we're going to roll this out till it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Now if you've seen me make dumplings before, I did the drop method where you just take a spoon and you drop it. Well, these are more like, the drop ones are more like what my mom's mom would make. The ones that are rolled out are more like what my dad's mom used to make. So they used to call them chicken and sinkers. So we're going to give those a try. They're more like the ones that maybe you find at Cracker Barrel. I've got it to where it's about 1/8 of an inch thick all around, and then I'm going to take my pizza cutter and I'm just going to cut it into like 1/2 inch squares. Our soup part is kind of at a boil. I'm going to turn it just a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and start dropping these into the soup. And the little flour that's left on it will help will help thicken it up a little more, but it's already started to get thick because of the slurry that I put in it. All right, so I've got all of the dumplings in here, and I'm just kind of mixing it up and kind of pushing them down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on it. We're going to turn the heat down to maybe about a medium, because you still want it to kind of boil a little bit, but not too much because you don't want to break your dumplings apart. But we're going to let these steam. I'm going to give it about 10 minutes and give it a check and see if it's doing all right. And then we'll see if it needs any salt or pepper in it. All right, so our 10-minute timer has gone off, and these are looking fantastic. So you can see that the soup part has thickened up, and as it sets, it'll actually thicken up more. So that'll get pretty thick. But with the slurry that I added in it, and then the flour from the the flour from the dumplings, this is going to be plenty thick enough. So now we're just waiting for our daughter to get home, because this is her favorite meal. All right, so this right here, you can see it.
Don't pour it out.
Pouring it out. That's
Yep.
our chicken and dumplings.
Oh my goodness.
And it is rocket hot right now because it just came out of the pot.
If you want to see it though, you can go to our Instagram page, and Heather takes pictures of all of our food and puts it on there.
Yup.
We're foodies.
We are.
All right.
We really like it.
Here we go. That's awesome.
It needs some salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. So I
The dumplings
seasoned it.
are the bomb though.
Yeah, I seasoned it while it was still in the pot, but it's going to need a little more. So, just kind of adjust it to your taste. That's a big chunk of chicken, and you're on your work clothes. So don't get it.
That's okay. I'm okay. You're
All
going to
right.
spill the bowl on me.
Okay.
All right. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out all of these awesome recipes. You can also find some great stuff on our website, goingbatty.com.
Which I might put the recipe for this one, because this one's a little harder to do, because this is kind of throw everything into a pot.
Yeah.
And so I'll do a little work, and maybe I'll put the recipe on the website, and you can find it there.
In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Have a great day, and as always,
More updates as we go.